Step into the light where the wild ones roam, where the heart speaks loud, calling this place home. We break the rules, we paint the sky, ridiculously you, we were born to fly. Ooh, it's ridiculously you.
Hey everyone, this is Julie May and the Ridiculously You podcast. I have a quick warning for you. If you think normal is a compliment, you might want to buckle up because today's guest is flipping the script on neurotypical nonsense, burning the rule book on what is supposed to be behaving, and doing it all in rainbow clothes while dancing in aisle 3. This is Jo, aka MyFavouriteJo. She's an ADHD autism advocate, viral video creator, cult leader in all the best ways, and one of the funniest, most radically real humans you'll ever meet. Through her content, community, and chaotic good energy, she reminds us that neurodivergent folks are not broken, they're brilliant. Also, neurotypical is kind of weird too. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to MyFavouriteJo. And this is the other thing I want to say, and I was telling Jo this before we popped on. My boyfriend and I are massive fans of her content. He watches it on Facebook. I'm more of a TikTok girly. And so like anytime we have misunderstandings with each other, because we're a little neurospicy ourselves, he like will bring me one of Jo's videos and be like, we are doing this. See this misunderstanding? This is what we're doing. It's like brilliant and funny, and I love it all. So that's a little bit about Jo. Can we get in and go, like, why did you start getting on and doing this content in the first place? Like, what made you go, hey, maybe I get out and do this?
I mean, like most people, it started in COVID out of sheer boredom. And then it was just, I kind of got sick of being called the weird one. Especially, I'd see all this, like everybody that went on TikTok that either wasn't diagnosed or is diagnosed and thinks that we're all funny. I'm flicking and it's sending me all the ADHD and autistic stuff. And so much of it was such a downer. They're like, I have ADHD, therefore I can't clean the kitchen. I'm autistic, therefore I can't make eye contact. And you're like, who cares? Like they're such tiny little, like, where's all the good stuff? It really got under my skin that they're like, oh, you're diagnosed ADHD. Here's a list of stuff that you're really shit at. And you're autistic. Here's a list of stuff that you're really shit at. And I'm like, where's the list of stuff we're really good at? Because we are better than a lot of people at stuff as well. And people go, that sounds arrogant. You're so full of yourself. And I'm like, no, that's a fact. That is literally exactly when you go gifted, that means I'm better than you. And a lot of us were the gifted kids that life just fell apart after structure fell apart. After school, and like, you can't say that you suck at all these things without going, by the way, you also have a predisposition to be really good at these things. Like, it just the narrative just shit me. So I'm just like, okay, you know what, I'm going to point out how the neurotypicals suck compared to us. If we were considered the baseline default, I'm going to say how you suck the same way that you do it to us. And then some people got their panties and are not going, you can't do that. And I'm like, why? I'm using the same language that they're using. I'm not being rude. It's just scientific.
It's just science. Sorry.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into like, what if you're diagnosed, not diagnosed, but you think you're spicy a little bit? What are some of the absolutely awesome things of autism and ADHD?
The hyperfocus. Some people even manage to make hyperfocus bad. And I'm like, dude, that's like the coolest thing that we have. Hyperfocus is a great one. Like, the neurotypicals love to think that they are the kings of hyperfocus. Well, your hyperfocus looks like a bumbling toddler compared to our hyperfocus. Yeah. Like, when we are interested in something, we become the experts in that field. Like, whenever you see a professor, a PhD, so many PhD people are our people because we got so obsessed with something. By the way, when neurotypicals are obsessed with something, it's passion. When we're obsessed with something, it's you're obsessed. Like, even just the little negative spins like that just sort of shit me. When we love something, we will learn everything we can about it, and we can learn things overnight. We can learn things on a weekend. Things that people take years to master, we'll master that in a weekend. Like, it's that's one of the great. I love hyperfocus. Hyperfocus is great. Like, we can just No drink breaks, no food breaks. Don't interrupt me. I'm learning about this thing. I learned how to do a Rubik's Cube in one sitting. Um, there's been a
Yeah.
fair few things where it's just one afternoon I went down this rabbit hole and I can teach you everything about it now. Um, there's also just the energy. People always go, "Oh, you guys are all hyperactive." I'm like, I call it energy.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's hyperactive because again, you're just putting a negative spin on top. Like I'm 40 and I can still keep up with kids. You're 40 sitting on the couch going, I'm tired. Like, don't tell me that my energy is a bad thing.
For
um,
real. It's like, what a gift. Like, how many other 40-year-olds are sitting out there going, man, I wish I could get out and do the things and like play with the kids and have a good time. Yeah.
yeah, but they just like to put a negative spin on it in any way that we're different. And I'm like, that's just shitty. That's really shitty behavior.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just started calling it like it was, really going, oh, and even like you people are brutally honest. I'm like, honest isn't really a scale. It's either true or it's not. It's
Yeah.
it's not brutal because it was honest. It just you got your feelings hurt. There's a difference. Don't blame me. It's,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you talk about like the hyper focus thing. What's your latest hyper focuses? What's been fun for you to learn about recently?
Oh, I've had so much on. I haven't had a really good hyper focus in a long time, actually.
Mm.
Um, oh, it's been a while. It had
That's
like
okay.
stress will kill hyperfocus. It's
Yeah. So tell me one that you've had in the past, like something that you're just passionate about and you know everything about this subject.
well, I mean, as very meta as it is, autism and ADHD. So,
Yeah.
so many of our people, you discover that you're just like, this starts to line up with me. Let me read every book under the sun about it. And so autism and ADHD become one of your hyperfocuses. Um, I was diagnosed ADHD probably 20 years ago.
Mm.
And but then I actually got diagnosed three times because I got diagnosed once and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then when I went into a full-time job, I'm like, I actually need the medication now, like because I got diagnosed, but I tried the
Yeah.
meds and I'm like, I don't actually need these day to day. It's fine. But then when I went into full-time work, I'm like, I think I need those. And so I went to get diagnosed again, and I couldn't remember which doctor I went to last time. And
Yeah.
so I'm just like, okay, I'll just do it again. Um, and yeah, that happened a couple of times. And they're like, why didn't you just ask your prescribing doctor which doctor you went to? I'm like, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. Um, but yeah, the so when I was diagnosed 20 years ago, they just went, okay, well, you're like Bart Simpson. Good
Yeah.
luck with that. Um, and they didn't really go into nuance. They didn't go into day to day what that looks like. They definitely didn't go into what it looks like in women. Um, and so when I sort of rediscovered it, maybe 10 years ago again, I'm just like, there was so much more research. You still had to dig to find anything on women or girls, but there was just so much more information and so much more what actually goes on day to day. Because a lot of these things, they didn't necessarily line up,
Yeah.
but it's because I was taking their stupid diagnostics very literally, because go figure.
Go
Um,
figure.
yeah. They're like, do you take things literally? I'm like, no, until you actually
Yeah.
describe what literal means. And I'm like, oh, yes.
Yes.
Um, like, I understand metaphors. If like you say it's raining cats and dogs, I know that you don't mean it's raining cats and dogs. But if you told me this was really nice, let's do it again, I'm going to expect you to call and do it again.
Yeah.
Um, when you say the party starts at 9, I'll be at your house at 9. I don't know
Yeah.
what this fashionably late garbage is. I tell me what time you want me to turn up. I will turn up whatever time you. So these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And yeah, some other little things, like, like they always talk about the tag on your back of your shirt. And I'm like, well, it really depends what shirt. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
do you have an issue with clothes? I'm like, no, because I'm an adult. I buy my own clothes. And if they're scratchy, I don't buy those ones. So I don't, so a lot of the criteria didn't quite fit and it didn't quite click until I actually had a better, because I just thought I was ADHD or, yeah. And it wasn't until I had a better psychologist, psychiatrist, whichever one it is that does the diagnosing, explain
Yeah.
some of the nuance. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing was like having both ADHD and autism. They would say like autism looks like this and you hyper focus and you do this. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes I can't focus on anything and I have this and it looks like that. And my daughter is like, yeah, have you considered there's both? Both is also an option.
And they're like, autism's really anally clean and ADHD is really messy. And I'm like, I'm not anally clean, I'm definitely messy.
Yeah,
Um, unless you look at my books, which are ordered by topic and then by size and then depth and then they
that's
it's like,
exactly it. I'm like, yes, but which area of my life? This area of my life or that area of my life? And today or 3 weeks from now, when I'm hyper focused on something, I don't know. Like
yeah.
it was so different for me that I would look at like the diagnosis and go, well, I don't fit those criteria. I only do that like 2 or 3 times a year. Like I'm not hyper focused all the time. Most of the time I can't concentrate on anything. And then I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, and the fact that it was so different, like showcases so much differently in women too. And so I'm like, I didn't talk late as a kid. I didn't do any of these things. Like, so that can't be me either because it didn't showcase the way it shows up in boys, the same way. And so I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm not that. But then it was like, I don't know. All of their criteria felt very confusing until pretty recently. And then I was like, oh, you have a lot more information on what it looks like to have both of these things and have it be in women. And now I feel very called out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, especially when they don't. I mean, it changes, especially even just from girls to women, because all of a sudden
Yeah.
you've got a hormonal cycle, and that affects that's let's start all over again. Start the whole start the whole DSM again. And then
Yeah.
you chuck children, having children on top of that, and you chuck families and you chuck careers, and you just like all of a sudden where I was coping before, you're not coping now.
Yeah.
And there's definite parts in certain parts in life where all of a sudden everything falls apart. Like ADHD, a lot of people think, oh, the failing student that can't keep up. And for some, that is the case.
Yeah.
Um, for me in school, I loved school. So
Yeah.
I was great in school. I was a straight A student, top of the class. All the teachers loved and hated me.
Yeah.
Depends if we meant like socially or in class. They loved the fact I was smart. They didn't like the ADHD part that
Yeah.
would get bored to finish my work and disrupt everyone. But the second school's over and now you're at university and you have to organize your own schedule and you don't have the teachers pushing you to do stuff, you don't have your parents on top of you quite like you did at school, all of a sudden everything falls apart.
Yeah.
So people don't look at the kid that's doing really well in school and go, oh, they've got ADHD. They
Yeah.
they look at the kid that's failing, that's not coping. So again, they need to, when it comes to the diagnostic stuff, they only ever list the negative things. They don't list the positive things. So the kids that are doing well right now often get left to die in a heap later on because they're not looking for that.
Mm. And you're
Mm.
like, there's so many brilliant things, though. There's so many brilliant things, which is like what we're all about here. Like the Ridiculously You podcast, it's like, let's find we call it the ridiculous parts of you. Like, let's find those parts and showcase that it is your superpower. It is like, that is the thing that makes you brilliant and awesome. What my oldest daughter always says about me, she's like, you're either a complete genius at something and you know everything, or you're a goddamn idiot and you know absolutely nothing about something. And it's kind of true. It's either I'm hyper focused to the point of knowing absolutely everything and I am the expert on it, or I know nothing. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of in between. But
Yeah.
like that kind of works if you're going to be in business. If you're going to be on TikTok, you can recognize patterns really quickly. You know how to be really good at something. You know how to like stand out. You know how to do lots of things like that because you can hyper focus on it and like be a genius at it in a weekend.
Hmm. It's right.
It's super good. It's super good.
It's very
Okay, we
handy.
talk about like masking. Were you a person that used to do a lot of masking? I know a lot of people with autism have done a lot of masking. I know that's something that I've struggled with over time. How has that shown up in your life or not?
I definitely used to do it more, and I
Mhm.
and this I still do it in certain situations, but it's the problem is it's not a conscious choice
Yeah,
anymore, at least.
yeah,
And you can feel yourself doing it because it's exhausting, but you can't stop yourself from doing it. It's yeah. So as far as used to do it, I find I'll do it in social situations where largely you're not surrounded by your people. And so
yeah,
you're in a certain and you're just like, I need to get on with these people. So I won't tell the dodgy stories. I'll tone down the energy. I'm still dressed and look like this, so it's not like it's subtle, but you tone the personality right down. You don't you rein the quirks right in, and you try and sit really still and be like, I've had random people before in like in a meeting, not a work meeting, but like in a conference type thing, and I was just bouncing my leg, didn't even realize I was doing it,
Yeah.
and they sit next to me and they're like, do you have to do that? Like this complete stranger that I've never met telling me off, and I'm just like, sorry, and they're like, that is really annoying. Can you stop it? And I'm like, sorry. And then for the rest of that conference, I didn't hear a thing they did. That they said because I am focusing so much energy on not doing that. Because we don't do it deliberately. So when someone
No.
says you have to stop, all of a sudden I have to concentrate to not do it. And so yeah, I don't really hang around people that force me to mask anymore. I have discovered our people. Once you actually get diagnosed, you start to know what you're looking at. You start to see, you can sense. You've got the spidey sense for our own people.
Yeah.
And you just like, I don't want to hang out with these other people anymore. No offense. Like, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just fucking exhausting to be around. Um, and so you just don't hang out with them as much unless you have to.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, I definitely remember like when my son was at school or we were doing school type things, you got to get on with the other mums. The thing with masking though is people can still tell. They don't
Yeah.
know what they're picking up on, but they can still tell. And they don't invite you to extra things. You don't get the invites to, look, I don't want to go to your Tupperware party, but it'd be real nice if you invited me.
I want the opportunity to say, no, I'm busy that day, or no, I wish not to come.
Or even just let me say yes and just let me try and socialize. Let me try and socialize with you people. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like yeah, they know they've actually done studies and found that it took 8 seconds for neurotypicals to start avoiding neurodivergent people. They put
Oh,
them all in a
wow.
room, and when they're observing it, 8 seconds. 8 seconds they started to avoid us. And you're just like, so they know they're picking up on something. When they
Yeah.
go, oh, you can't just tell. You're like, you can. You
You
really
can,
can.
though.
Look, like not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time you can. And it takes about 8 seconds. They don't know what they're picking up on. They just know that, I don't really like that person. And you're like, feelings mutual. No offense. Like, you're not a bad person. I just know that we're not going to get along. You're not going to laugh at my really dodgy jokes. You're going to find me annoying. I know that because you people have said it to my entire life at nauseum. You're going to find the energy annoying. Um, yeah, yeah, masking, it's a useful skill to have, especially in corporate type
Yeah.
jobs. If you've got one of those, my son is going through it at the moment. He's not corporate, but he does have like a normal person job. And he's telling me stories about the boss, and I'm like, okay, here's how you need to deal with it. You just need to go, yes, sir, no, sir. Yep, fantastic. That's brilliant. Just smile
Yeah.
and nod. Um,
Smile and nod. Smile and nod. What
mhm.
are some of the big like misunderstandings you think neurotypicals have, and people with autism, ADHD, when our conversation patterns happen? Like, what are the big things you notice? They'll say this, and someone with autism is going to hear a whole different thing than they think they're saying.
I think the biggest thing is we say exactly what we mean,
Yeah.
and they read into it. And we didn't mean that. And then they then take offense. And you're just
Yeah.
like, what are you taking offense at? I'm not sure what just happened. And you've got, and sometimes several times I've had,
Yeah.
I wasn't even aware they're offended. They've just walked off, and I just thought the conversation was over. But,
Yeah.
and then later find out from somebody else who told somebody else who told somebody that I somehow pissed them off. But the biggest one is we will say exactly what we mean.
Yeah.
We will use words to say what we mean. I know, revolutionary idea. Whereas they will tell you half the story and expect you to work out the other half.
Yeah.
So the most viral video I made is the "Are you hungry" one. So they'll come in and go, "Are you hungry?" And you'll be like, "No, I'm good, ta." And they're now offended, and but you have no idea. You've just gone, "Nope, not hungry." Gone back to what you're doing, and and they think that you've just said, "No, I don't want to go to lunch with you," and you're just like, "What? When was there a lunch invite?" Like, no one. If you said, "Do you want to go for a walk to grab a juice?" Even if I wasn't hungry, I'll come and grab a drink. But yeah, we will say what we mean, and they use tone, and you're supposed to guess that they only said half of what they meant. You're supposed to guess the next sentence.
Yeah.
What's really funny is when I've made videos about how I've only said half of it and they didn't guess the other half, they got really pissy that I didn't say the rest of the sentence. And I'm just like, you can't have it both ways. Um, Another big one was, what was I about to say? Tone, saying half a sentence. It went away. The other big one is they will ask questions. First of all, they don't like when we ask them questions, but when they ask questions, they want you to. They basically want their opinion in a different voice.
Yeah.
Whereas we will just answer the question you asked us, and then often they get pissed off because we answered it. Like the real common one is, do I look fat in this? Like women will say that. And I remember for the longest time, I didn't realize you're not supposed to answer that question. I was about 15 or 16 before I realized you're actually asking me, do I look nice in this? Not, do I look fat? You could have just said that. Like,
Yes.
because I used to just be like, yeah, a little bit. Like, but again, it's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. You asked, I answered. I don't know why. They're like, do you like my shirt? And it's a plain pastel pink shirt. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Not for me.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were asking, do I look nice in it or whatever? Like they said, do you like it? And I'm thinking you're asking, would I wear it? Like, do I like it enough that I would wear? And I'd be like, no. And they'd
Yeah.
get really offended. And you're just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
You asked me a question, I answered. I'm not sure why you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that the biggest one is, yeah, they ask things they don't want to know the answer to. They use tone and inference and only say half of what they're meaning and expect you to fill in the gaps. And we just don't do any of that. The other thing I really hate about tone talking, like like don't get me wrong, I'm not tone deaf, but if the tone in your voice is so subtle, I'm not going to hear it.
Right.
Like when they do they'll say something, and if you went and told the boss or you went and told the teacher because they're like, oh, I love your shirt, and you
Yeah.
go and tell the teacher they said I love that, like they're picking on me, they said I love it, like there's plausible deniability in that. They
Yeah.
can say, oh, I just told her that I love the shirt, I don't know why she's upset. And you're just like, and you're trying to explain it, you're like, and then they tell you, no, 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 you misunderstood me. And you hear that enough and you'll start to believe that you can't infer tone. And you're just like,
Mm.
no, I got it right. You're being a turd. And now you're gaslighting me into thinking I can't hear tone. Like,
Mm.
mm,
I can totally see that happening. Like that's wild because they're aware enough to go, if I do it in this way, I can get off scot-free and just blame it on they don't understand things. And you're just
mm,
like, that's a double fuck you thing for you. That is not nice at all, is what that is. But so tell me this. In your romantic relationships, you're married with somebody, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Are
honey.
they neurotypical? Are they on the spectrum? And how has these communication patterns kind of played out in romantic relationships for you?
So he's ADHD. He did not know until, oh, not even 10 years ago now, he was
Yeah.
diagnosed. Um, when we first met, I knew there was something different, but he's the sort of the sleepy ADHD, the one that
Uh-huh.
often goes undiagnosed, that the sort of the one that's more prone to depression than anxiety, the one that's more inward than outward. He's the sort where I'm going to hyper focus on something ever since I was a teenager and make a full blown niche career out of it.
Right.
He is that kind. The one that took ADHD and made it a very successful career. Um, he was diagnosed when he was younger as depressed, and I'm like, oh, that's really like because so he's got the ADHD that is seen as more common in women, and
Yeah.
I've got the boy one. I got the hyperactive one. He's got the quiet one. Um, not that the girls, yeah, obviously, but it's just
No,
gender
but
roles.
typically it did show up that way as kids. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'd like to see the studies and see if that's actual fact or if that's just societal expectations, because often it's just misinterpreted. that like it's the same behavior but interpreted differently. Like when boys are really hyperactive, our boys are just active anyway. When a girl's active, it's, yeah, she's anyway. What was I answering?
You're
Relationships,
talking about, yeah, relationships.
and communication. I think our communication things have had more to do with how we were raised than the ADHD itself. Um, he's not autistic on top of it, so he always found it really easy when I would just say exactly what I meant. Like he's just like, new. Uh, this is new for me. I like it. It's easy. Um, what else was I answering? Can you say the question again?
Yeah. I just wanted to know how the neurospiciness has affected your relationship, not like how is your communication? Have you had to work through stuff? Have you been, do you understand each other pretty well? It sounds like he likes the direct stuff. He's like, yeah, you're the one girl I understand what's actually saying. That is slick.
Yeah, I think we're actually it's very complementary ADHD. We've got like almost the exact opposite. It's funny. So yeah, while he and it took so long to even notice that he was because as I was saying, he was when he was younger, he was diagnosed as having depression. And I'm like, that's really common for girls to be misdiagnosed as. I always call him big girl.
Yeah.
Because even the gender roles, it's hilarious that they seem very much switched. Like if something's broken in the house, I'll go fix it.
Yeah.
Um, he's sort of the one that's a little more emotionally intelligent, so he will. And I'm just like, you're such a girl. Um, what the hell was I saying? We're doing that today. Gonna have to cut out so many of me going, what the hell were we saying?
It's all good. It's all good because
Yes.
it's like it's so nice for the audience out there who loses their train of thought. Like, how many times do you go in a room and you're like, what did I even come in here for? Or you're like halfway through a sentence and you're like, I was going somewhere. I
Yeah.
think it's so freaking relatable that it's like, no, guess what? All of us have it. All of us have it. Like,
I especially do it when we're doing like interview type things and I've gone off on a tangent. I'm like, hang on, this was not the question I was originally answering.
that's okay. I think you answered what I asked, which was just like how did the communication stuff show up in your relationships? And it sounds like it actually was complimentary and really good, which is another thing that's like, hey guys, just because you're not neurotypical doesn't mean you can't have really great relationships and communicate with people. You just got to find somebody who is, you know, a good match for you in that way and really appreciates the way you talk. And like, it's another
I know
way
I
that
know
can
a
be
few
different.
I find that ADHDs either a fair few of the ones I know, married, long term, etc., they will either make you believe in soulmates, like just the passion they have for each other, like that person is my dopamine button, and they are just like they're those couples where you go, oh. Or ADHDs can also be like that. You're just like, oh my God, you're the partner from hell. Like it just, I mean, it depends if they're compatible or not, I guess. Like we can go jump, 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 jump from relationship to relationship, especially if you're not actually ready for something. But when you find that right person, yeah, they can make you believe. They're the ones that make you believe in soulmates. Like
Yeah.
they would just do anything for their person because that person is the one that hits that dopamine button just right in their head. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I kind of agree. So I'm in the soulmates, all the things, super lovey-dovey relationship right now. Just like that's the
Excellent.
gig. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your use of the word cult because I'm like that's such one of those words that people are like so afraid of using, and you're just like we're creating it's a cult. This is what we're doing, and I'm like, so tell me more about that, especially from somebody who uses very intentional language. So tell me more about that.
It started with um someone someone left a comment on a video. I think I was talking about ADHD in general or autism, one of those.
Yeah.
And someone's like, "That's not true. I'm like this, and I'm not blah blah blah." They went full blown explosive comment, and I've replied to them, and I'm like, "Look, whenever I say anything, I said I'm not in charge of absolute truth. Whenever you talk blanket statements." it does not mean it will never be true for 100% of the people in that group. Like you can't even say humans have two legs because you know what? Some have one, some have none. Occasionally someone has three. We generally cut the third one off nowadays, but like it's not, nothing is ever true for a whole group of people. It is just more commonly seen in this group of people. I said,
Yeah.
well, I'm not starting a cult here. And when I said I'm not starting, my comments got flooded with, I'd join your cult. um, and so I'm like, maybe we are starting a cult. Who knows? And as far as why it's
Exactly.
called cult, because it's funny. And some people, I've had DMs going, really, a cult in this climate? And I'm like, yeah, a cult. And if you don't think it's funny, if you're like super offended and your panties are in a twist about it, you're not the sort of person I want in there. Um, like if you don't get dark humor, please don't join. Um,
Okay, can we talk about dark humor? Because this is something that I have noticed is people that are ADHD, autism, we tend to have a little bit more dark humor as our way of coping with, I don't know, hard things, bad things. Have you noticed that? That's something I've noticed. I'm like, our family, we've had some pretty tragic things. We're the worst. We're like dark humor all the way. Like that is how we're going to handle things. And it catches people off guard pretty frequently when we'll talk about something that's pretty tragic and then we'll be like, aha, just like laugh about it or like have some really crazy thing to say about it. They'll be like, what is wrong with you guys? And we'll be like, that is how we have chosen to function. And I don't know, but dark humor seems to be like our whole go-to for everything. Have you seen that as a pattern in people with ADHD, autism? Or, maybe we're just kind of freaks and that's okay too.
oh no, absolutely. That's definitely our thing. I mean, first of all, you make something taboo and the ADHD brain instantly goes, I'm not allowed to do what now?
That's
You make,
exactly.
because RSD is so rejection sensitivity dysphoria. No, that was the wrong thing. ODD, objectional defiant disorder. Basically, you tell us no, and our brains instantly go, what? And I'm not saying we don't all have ODD. Some definitely do, and some of us it's just in there a little bit. And like you tell us no, and you'll instantly make our brain obsess about it. And it's just like we're not being brats. Well, I mean, maybe we are, but it's just part of the people need to know. And so many people go, "Oh, you're just being a brat. They're just being a shitty little kid. They're just being blah blah. You need to beat the crap out of them to make it stop." And you're like, "No, it's not going to work. Like if you do that, you're going to traumatize us. But you need to learn. If you've got an ADHD kid, don't forbid things. It's not going to work. It's going to make us want to do it. It's stupid. Like, and if you do that, that's on you. Like, you can guide us. You can go, hey, this is why drinking alcohol for a 14-year-old isn't a good idea. And you give us the science behind it. We're like, okay, that's not a good idea. I agree. But you go, absolutely do not, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I wasn't drinking young, don't get me wrong, but it's very common for our people to do that. You forbid something, and all of a sudden that's all we want to do. And dark humor absolutely comes under. It's taboo. It is not meant to be said, and it's hilarious. I won't tell you the current dark joke that's running around our family because we can't put that in public. But it's funny. It's really messed up.
Message it to me so then we can laugh about it.
Hey,
Just message it to me. We won't put
okay.
it on loud. I just, we enjoy some dark humor over here.
Yes, it's messed up. It's but it's just so funny. You can actually tell. You can tell the ADHD is in the room by telling a dodgy joke. They will, all of them, even the best masking ones will go. You'll just see the little. But one of my good friends that I met where we lived last, we were chatting in the park when we first met. We were chatting for about 5 minutes, and she goes, "You're ADHD, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yep." How could you tell? She's like, "That joke you told," and I'm like, "So are you?" She's like, "How could you tell?" I'm like, "You laughed."
You laughed. You laughed.
That's right.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Maybe that should be on the diagnostic, like, and it's not like listed. You just go in, you visit the psychiatrist or whatever. They're going along the thing, and then out of the blue, dark humor joke. And if you just start to giggle, they're just like check mark.
That should probably be on the adult. The kid, the adult, the male. They need to have a few
Yeah,
extras that you add on here. If they're a woman, add these extra ones on. If they're an adult,
yeah.
and the dark humor. Obviously, a 5-year-old's not going to have dark humor, but
No, but like
adults, we definitely develop by the time you're
that's I'm
you're an
like
adult.
30 plus. You might want to add that,
Wonder.
and don't like ask, do you like dark humor? Like we want to see the reaction. So like check mark, check mark, check mark, and then kind of out of the blue, tell the dark humor joke, see if there's a giggle, and then then you can just check mark.
Yeah.
Then you can catch them in the wild. That's how
Mm.
it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, cool. All righty. What do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions people have about people with autism and ADHD?
I think when we're starting to come out of it a little bit, but it's still not fully out. Like a lot of people, when they think autism, they think the Rain Man or they think Sheldon. A lot of people hate
Yeah.
Sheldon. I don't know why. They're like, this is such a fake representation of autism. I'm like, dude, I was so much like Sheldon as a teenager. Like, I don't know why he's not all of autism, but he's definitely a dot on that spectrum.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely we can look like that. I was very much like Sheldon. Um, so yeah, there is definitely, I think the biggest misconception is our understanding of these things is more the extremes. So they think
Mm,
of Bart Simpson when they think ADHD, and they think of the Rain Man and Sheldon when they think autism. And they don't, there's no, like, as far as rigid black and white thinking, they tend
yeah.
to think you are either the Rain Man or you're neurotypical. You are either a Bart Simpson or you're not ADHD. Like, you're just like, there's a lot of spectrum, and basically that kid that you called weird and looked and picked on in high school, they're probably autistic or ADHD. Like it's um the other thing that really irks me about understanding of ADHD and autistic, and like again, they don't even realize they're doing it. When a lot of behaviors that are demonized and kids are told to stay away from are actually neurodivergent traits. Like when you think of the people your parents warned you off as a kid, they stay away from the bikers, stay away from tattooed people, colored hair. These all these people worship the devil. They go, I also
Yes.
was raised I went to a private Christian school, which highly do not recommend. So all these behaviors, I was told in church setting that the way I look, I must be demon oppressed because God made me a woman and women are feminine, and that means wearing beige and having long blonde hair.
Yeah.
And the fact that I didn't want to look like that, there was something wrong with me. And so we are constantly taught growing up, you're taught to mask, you're taught to dress a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way, because these traits here are bad. Even if you take religion out of it, the bikers, the tattoos, the colored hair, these are
Oh, yeah.
these are the scraping the barrel of society. You don't want to be like those people. You want to have a 9 to 5 job. You want to blah blah blah, and that doesn't teach your kid not to be neurodivergent. It teaches them A, to mask, and B, it teaches them to be lonely because we won't approach those people like you told us. Like we'll try and, but the second we talk to one, we'll realize how well we get on with them. And like, but we will steer clear. I was lonely for the longest, like probably first 3 decades of my life because I stayed away from the people you told me to stay away from. And so my friends were neurotypical, and I don't really talk to anyone that I grew up with because I realize now I'm just like, look, they're not bad people, but I wouldn't call them friends.
Yeah.
They're not people I got on really well with. That I couldn't be myself with them. Um, and there were so many people from school that I reconnected with after school, after we all went, this is actually who I am. I'm like, oh, you're just like me. Like I didn't know we were both masking so hard. You're really, like, we get on so much better now.
Oh,
It's,
how fun is that? That's so cool
yeah,
that you've been able to do that. I love that.
yeah.
Because a lot of times you don't know. Like school's so hard. You're in there, and there's all these social rules, and there's all these things that make you just not be yourself. You know,
Uh,
it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I agree 100%. Like that's what I have seen as well. Like I grew up in very organized religion, and if you wore it was exactly the same. If you wore anything but beige, and it was very like people in Utah, everyone has blonde hair. Mine's usually actually pink, but it needs to be
I can
redone.
see
But
the remnants of pink.
yeah, it's usually pink. It makes me sad when it's not pink, but we're getting it redone like Monday. So I'm like, I'll be back to being myself. But
yeah.
pink hair, no, that was completely shoulders was gonna send you to hell. Colors, I'm gonna send you to hell. Tattoos, definitely. And now I'm like, how many tattoos can I have? How many bright colors can I wear? Like
Oh.
it's kind of crazy because you go without for so long, and then I find myself kind of just craving wanting to be exactly me and nothing else. Anything else makes me just feel blah and sad and like I don't know. It's kind of crazy. And then I go, boy, I spent that much of my life trying to fit into their box of what to wear and what to look like, and I do it for like 3 days now, and I'm like, oh, it was exhausting and I hate it.
I don't even think I've got any. I've got one shirt that I never bought myself. I was given it. I got one shirt that is my neurotypical costume when I when I'm making videos. If I had to dress normal nowadays, I could.
Yeah,
But there's not a lot of clothes in there that are going to pass for normal. And
yeah,
all the ones that do, when I say normal, I mean neurotypical. Like I
yeah,
shouldn't say that. I shouldn't call it normal. It's icky. But I got a few clothes. They're still going to be way brighter than what everyone else is wearing. But I
yeah.
have a plain blue shirt. It's bright blue. It's plain. I have jeans that my mum gave me. I call it pastel, but it's really not that. It's a very bright pastel. I have a bright pastel top, which is my neurotypical shirt. Um, but yeah, if I had to pass for neurotypical nowadays, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. Okay, are you ready for a quick lightning round?
Sure.
Okay. Speedy lightning round. What do you do for fun now? You want to go out, you're gonna have fun tonight, and you can do anything you want. What's it gonna look like?
I'm gonna go beat up small children. That needs context. I do Aikido. I do Aikido martial arts, and I help out in the kids class. So,
Oh,
so
that's
tonight
fun.
is the kids class.
I love
Um,
that.
so just context, yeah.
Yes, context.
But
So
other than
you
that,
can
hang out with my
go
dog,
do
arts and
that. That's
crafts, friends.
amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna go to do your class, and that's super fun. You have like a whole weekend. You can do anything for a whole weekend. What are you gonna do?
Probably gonna hang out with my dog. Maybe probably in my van. I got a camper van which is completely decked out rainbow with dinosaurs and everything. Um, arts and crafts. Arts and crafts are a big one. Moving a lot. I don't have one thing at the moment. There's not
No,
one
that's
thing.
great.
But hanging in my van with my dog, that's my super relax thing. My Rottweiler, she cuddles up and we hang in my van and I read comic books.
Oh, do you have a favorite comic book series?
Absolutely. I hate Fairyland. Absolutely hilarious. There's this little 5-year-old girl that got sucked into Fairyland and then she got stuck there, couldn't get out, and slowly goes insane over 30 years. And then she just starts blasting up Fairyland. It's hilarious.
That sounds amazing. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing. Okay, favorite movie?
That one's too hard. I can give you a list of some of the favorites.
Yeah, give me like three or four.
Depends on the mood. I love Taken. So we're just going to jump straight into that dark human trafficking. Taken's really good. Armageddon. I love Liam Neeson. I love Bruce Willis. Um, there's so many more. I love see, and then I'd have to explain why I like it, not just because. See, I like Titanic. Hated it first, not for the romance, but for the contrast between Leo and Cal, and just what a turd Cal is compared to yeah. That's a whole thing. Pride and Prejudice, particularly episode number 2. It's the 6-hour one with Mr. Collins. He's revolting. Hated Pride and
Mm.
Prejudice because I had to do it at school, but then I actually had someone explain it properly and it was hilarious. Um, Adam Sandler, I was a massive Adam Sandler fan growing up. I loved Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, all those.
Yeah.
Um, I like lots of kids stuff too. It just takes no emotional um effort to watch cartoons.
That's true.
Yeah. Um, yeah. There's definitely a better answer to that, but I can't think what they are right now. Oh, I'm gonna remember later. I'm like, oh, these are all my favorite movies. Gladiator. Love Gladiator. I love Russell Crowe. I love that moment where he reveals who he is to the emperor, and you see you just as he takes his helmet off, you just see him go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that part where yeah, um, yeah. There's lots.
Mm.
There's lots, and I depends on the mood.
Favorite thing to wear that makes you feel mostly like you?
Anything bright with lots of colors. I didn't have a
Mm.
one. My whole Dangerfield. and Gorman are my two favorite shops. If you
Mm.
Google either of those, Dangerfield and Gorman, this is Geek's outfit with my David Bowie. That
Oh, it's
I
very
love
great.
that them as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, pretty much Dangerfield, Gorman, a lot of Geek's outfit. Yeah.
I will definitely be looking them up because I'm a bright girly. I love all the bright, big patterns, big everything. So I love that. What's your favorite TikTok you've ever done? You talked about the one that was the most popular. What's your favorite one you've ever done?
That probably is my favorite.
Yeah.
There's also another one about speech patterns. Basically anyone where I am smack talking neurotypicals. Um, they're they're all my favorites. I think I need to get back to my roots. I used to do that way more than I do now. I need to get back to that. Pretty much anywhere I'm smack talking the neurotypicals. They're they're that's my favorite style.
Yeah.
And when I say smack talking, I just mean describing them in the exact same language that they describe us.
Yeah.
Perfectly clinical. Yeah, those ones.
We're just stating facts. That's all. If somebody takes offense, that's on them, right?
Well,
Okay.
I'm like, someone said this is so offensive, rah, rah, and I'm like, if you find it offensive when I describe you this way, maybe think about that when you're describing me that way. Like,
It's
yeah.
possible. Yeah. Favorite type of music? If you want to dance, you want to like have a good time, what kind of music are you gonna play?
It's mostly retro. I'm not a
Mm.
huge music person. Anything with a good beat, a little boppy one that I do love a good rock ballad.
Mm.
Um, I love a lot of Bon Jovi does a really good like It's My Life. It's my life and it's now or never. That one. Love that song. Um, yeah,
Oh,
any really good rock ballad or we're talking hard retro 60s, 70s, 80s. 80s had the best music. I was only just alive for it, so it's not like I remember it. It's just that we used to let ugly people make music, and now they have to be pretty, but they don't necessarily need to sing. But
yeah.
yeah, back when we let anybody make music, the 80s is worst for fashion, best for music.
What do you think? What decade was the best of fashion? If the 80s is the worst, what's the best?
I don't think I have a favorite for 60s. 60s when they had color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, take it back 60s.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Okay, if you had one more message for everyone today to help them clarify, you know, their relationship to normies, to neurotypical people, to people with autism, to ADHD, whatever you want to say, what is your last message for everyone?
Regardless of your neurotype, and let's face it, I'm not talking to neurotypicals here because they're told they're fabulous from day one. Whatever your neurotype, studies have shown if you think positively about that, and I don't mean like let me think happy thoughts. I'm not about sage and crystals, no offense if you are, but if you actually go and look for the positives about that neurotype, you are far more likely to actually feel positive about your neurotype. If you are told, here's a list of everything that your neurotype sucks at, and that's all you focus on, you're far more likely to go, I'm disabled. Whereas if you go, my analogy that I love to use is if I'm looking at a map of France, but I'm actually in Rome, not only am I going to crash into something because I'm looking at the wrong map, I'm also going to miss the Colosseum because the Colosseum's not on this map. It's so here's your neurotypical. Here's all the things that you should be good at, and you can't, and you're not. And so I'm feeling bad. But if you're looking at the right map, here's all these things that your other map doesn't have. Like here's all these things that you're spectacular at. And if you're looking at this map, you're not even going to know that that's a possibility. And often we are not told the good things about neurotypes. And there is good things about every single one. There is positives about bipolar, there is positives about dyslexia, there's positives about autism, ADHD. There are positives about every single neurotype that people are not told. You have to go digging, unfortunately, or just come watch my page because I'll tell you. Um, and you are far more likely to experience those positives if you actually know they exist.
Oh, I love that so much. As like our family has every flavor. Like we have autism, we have bipolar, we have BPD, we have like everything. We have all the flavors in my family. And so I love finding the things that make you brilliant, the things that are the positives. You know, I think that's why one of the reasons I really love watching your content. The other one, like I said before, really, really helps me and my boyfriend understand each other. It's been super, super helpful in that realm. Okay, Joe, where can everyone find you? What's the best place to find all your cool content?
MyFavouriteJo, favorite has a U in it, on pretty much every platform. So TikTok's where I started. Then I went over to Instagram. There is YouTube. There is Facebook. So MyFavouriteJo with a U in the favorite. Come over on YouTube and support that. I want to go do that now. But all the platforms, all social media, wherever you're at, MyFavouriteJo.
MyFavouriteJo. MyFavouriteJo. Thank you so much for your time today. If you've ever been told that you are too much, too loud, or too anything, Joe's here to tell you that you're amazing. You're probably on to something good, and to find all the good things about that, go find her on MyFavouriteJo, TikTok, YouTube, all the places. Tag all your friends in this episode, download it, follow us for more amazing Ridiculously You content. And this has been Julie May reminding you to love even the ridiculous parts in yourself. They are your superpowers. We'll talk to you guys later.
Share the spark, take it higher. Hit subscribe, bring a friend. Let the wildness never end. Tap in, stand true. This is your crew.